You know what's wild? Ever since Meghan Markle traded the crown for Hollywood, Piers Morgan hasn't taken a single day off from roasting her. Like, this man wakes up and chooses Meghan every morning. Today, let's go through the 10 times Piers absolutely dragged her like his life depended on it. And trust me, by the 12th one, you'll understand why he's still trending every time she sneezes. Now, if there are two things Piers Morgan truly loves, it's his morning coffee and a sharp punchline. So when Meghan's name comes up, what's the first thing that jumps into his head? Pinocchio. Because according to him, Meghan's entire existence is built on one thing: lies for profit. He didn't even blink when he said it. To Piers, every blink, every breath, every half smile from Meghan had been fact-checked by him personally. He looked right into the camera like he had receipts for every single fib she's ever told.
Turns out that had the Archbishop of Canterbury secretly married them in their garden, he would have broken the law and been sent to prison. So I thought, yeah, old Princess Pinocchio's off on a good one
Challenge.
Here. And then the rest of it was, and all the racism claims turned out to be shit. The mental health claims were bull. All of it was shit, designed to damage and attack the royal family, the monarchy, and all of it. And it made me puke.
And let's be honest, when Piers goes in, he goes in. He wasn't joking around when he said Meghan was acting her way through royal life. Remember, she was on Suits, right? So when she walked into the palace, Piers said she didn't become a royal. She just landed the biggest acting role of her life. According to him, every curtsy, every smile, every hand wave, it was all scripted. The palace wasn't Buckingham. It was just another TV set.
Didn't you think the Dodgers video clip from their living room?
Oh my God.
With her waltzing around.
Yes.
Yes.
Like a
It was
hyena.
literally like a hyena with a spear in its back, wasn't it?
And
then
Harry's face.
The half-wit sat there like he was doped out of his brains, which he probably was. And the whole thing was so cringe, wasn't it?
It was awful.
Terrible.
And you know what really gets Piers? Meghan's obsession with her image. According to him, she wants the whole world to see her as the perfect angel, the misunderstood good girl who's always the victim. Piers roasted that fantasy into ashes. He said Meghan's been writing, producing, and starring in her own personal drama called Everybody Is Mean to Me Except Me. According to him, she isn't the victim. She's the reason the drama even exists.
Turns out we've apparently been wrong all along. Britain is a nasty, racist hellhole where only magnificent Meghan stood up to all this. And the world's biggest victims are not the people of Ukraine or the people battling COVID or people struggling in a devastating cost of living crisis. No, the world's biggest victims right now are the Duke and Duchess of Netflix.
He didn't stop there either. He called her fake to her core, said she could cry at the snap of a finger. He even compared her to a chameleon that changes colors to fit whatever room she walks into. Piers was practically shouting from the rooftops that Meghan preaches kindness, but practices something entirely different behind the scenes. Then came the privacy scandal. Oh, that one had Piers boiling. He mocked Meghan and Harry for screaming about wanting privacy while hopping from one major interview to another. To him, they didn't want privacy. They wanted positive press. They wanted people to adore them again. But after everything they did to the monarchy, that ship had sailed. And then there was the infamous banana incident. Remember that time Meghan wrote inspirational messages on bananas meant for sex workers? Piers couldn't resist. He called it the weirdest moment in royal history. Like, who does that? He roasted her so hard, saying it was the most random inspirational fruit moment anyone had ever seen. Instead of offering genuine help, Meghan wrote, "You are strong," on a banana like she was signing autographs.
This wasn't really an interview. This was her allowing two friends the platform to spray gun Britain, the monarchy, the royal family, the Queen, Prince William's wife, you name it, they took them down. And that's fine, that's their decision. It's their life, they can do what they want. But to do it when you're still calling yourselves Duke and Duchess of Sussex, I'm sorry, that is rank hypocrisy.
He wasn't done dragging her family ties either. Piers pointed out how Meghan completely cut off her dad, her half-sister, her brother, basically half the planet. To him, Meghan's motto was simple: if you're not profitable, you're disposable. She even claimed she grew up alone, which set her sister off like fireworks. Piers jumped on that, saying Meghan has this pattern: cut off people who can't boost her image, but stay close to those with million-dollar contracts. If you're not talking money, he said, you're not in Meghan's circle. Now, remember that legendary Good Morning Britain walk-off? That's where Piers took his roast to a whole new level.
If people want to believe Meghan Markle, that's entirely their right. I don't believe almost anything that comes out of her mouth. And I think the damage she's done to the British monarchy and to the Queen at a time when Prince Philip was lying in hospital is enormous and frankly contemptible.
When a co-host tried to defend Meghan, saying her racism claims were real, Piers just lost it. He stood up mid-show, muttered, "Sorry, can't do this," and stormed off live on air. That walk-off became one of his most iconic moments. Because honestly, who hates someone so much that just hearing their name makes you quit your own show? He later declared, clear as day, that he didn't believe a single word Meghan Markle said in her Oprah interview, called her a liar, said every sentence from her mouth was a performance. According to him, she'd done enormous damage to the monarchy, especially while Prince Philip was lying in the hospital. It got so bad that Piers was given a choice: apologize or lose his job. Guess what? He chose unemployment over saying sorry to Meghan Markle. He'd rather pack up and leave than say he believed her. That's how deep this feud runs. But the real tea? Piers confessed he used to like Meghan. He even admitted they chatted before she met Harry. He said she ghosted him the minute she stepped into royal circles. He said it hurt because he genuinely thought she was real. But then, poof, she vanished, and next thing he knew, she was sipping tea with Prince Harry. "She used me," he said. "Used my connections to climb the social ladder." And in true Piers fashion, he announced to the world, "That was the last I ever heard from Meghan Markle." He didn't stop at that confession. Oh no. He looked straight into the camera one night and mocked Meghan's emotional timing. "Why," he asked, "does every interview end with perfectly timed tears?" He even mimicked her fake crying, saying she could summon tears faster than Netflix actors hitting cue marks. He reminded everyone of that old clip where Meghan herself showed how she could cry instantly. "Remember that?" he said, smirking. "She can do it like that." Then he snapped his fingers dramatically. "Just remember that next time you see her tearing up in a trailer." And when it comes to compassion, Piers goes off again. He brings up how Meghan's father, Thomas Markle, suffered a stroke, and she didn't even call, visit, or send a text. This is the same man who raised her single-handedly, yet Miss Compassion and Empathy was nowhere to be found. He said she completely abandoned her dad before the wedding and hasn't looked back since. And if that wasn't enough, Piers reminded everyone that Prince Harry's never even met his father-in-law, Thomas Markle. Their kids have never met their grandfather either, even though he lives just an hour away. According to Piers, that's proof Meghan's image of family and kindness is all smoke and mirrors. She sells compassion to the public, but doesn't practice it at home. To him, Meghan and Harry turned their royal exit into a marketing campaign. They made grand speeches about privacy and dignity, but what did they do next? Signed Netflix deals, filmed documentaries, sat for interviews. Piers compared them to a low-budget version of the Kardashians, but without the charm, loyalty, or business sense. He said they'd sold their royal souls for fame and money, turned themselves into reality TV characters. And that, he said, was their biggest downfall. They didn't just walk away from royalty, they turned royalty into a storyline. According to Piers, they're now just influencers who complain for a living. And that, folks, is how Piers Morgan went from annoyed commentator to Meghan Markle's loudest, lifelong critic. 10 roast sessions that felt like public therapy for him and a PR nightmare for her. Every jab, every line, every sarcastic, "I don't believe her," has shaped how millions see Meghan today. Whether you agree with Piers or think he's just bitter over being ghosted, one thing's for sure: he turned his feud into a full-time career. So tell me, out of all these brutal moments, which roast hit you the hardest? Because honestly, every single one of them proves that when it comes to Meghan Markle, Piers Morgan doesn't pull punches, he throws grenades. And that, my friends, is why the Meghan Piers saga isn't ending anytime soon.